And today I am here with Dannenmiller. Today we're going to be going through a Q&A. So another one is, how are you both coming into your peak weeks?
But guys, she looks insane though for how I mean, I don't even know what she went through, but
how do you define success in the sport? Oh, I like this. Hello guys and welcome back to my channel. I hope you're doing well wherever you are in the world. So if you are new here, this is my channel, Phoebe Hagan, and today I am here with Dannenmiller and we are one day out from the Arnold Classic. Like,
we are pumped.
How are you feeling for it?
I'm feeling really, really good.
I'm excited, really excited.
I'm just happy I'm with Phoebe because it's just so cool because we met in 2019 and we were both just trying to make it and to go to the Olympia and to go after our goals and win shows and everything. And now, like, fast forward, is it like two or three years now? Yeah. It's like bang. Like,
now we're both in the same place. We're both in, and I remember we'll get into our kind of history of how me and Lauren met and all that type of thing, but we have been going at the same pace, like with wanting to like go into American shows, me coming over to America and doing American shows, going to the same shows, you know, having the same goal and ambition. And it's been nice to see her vlog it as well, because we're one of the only people that kind of vlog our things. Obviously people have YouTubes, but we vlog our things, and you know, it's nice to have that same, I don't know, mentality.
Yeah, and it's just like, I feel like me and Phoebe, we've been like rising at the same level together. Like, obviously I competed at the Olympia last year, but now Phoebe's qualified. So it's just like, I feel like me and her, we've just been like rising at like the kind of the same pace. Yeah,
it's really nice because we both motivate each other really, really well, and that's why we wanted to do this. Today we're going to be going through a Q&A for you guys, because we did a little Q&A box on our Instagrams and we've got some really, really good questions. So we wanted to kind of sit down and talk, especially one day out, because we're both here, and just kind of discuss what our thoughts are on a few topics that you guys have. So we're going to get straight into it pretty much. So okay, so first question is how to be friends and competitors at the same time, which I thought was obviously a really good question, because we're literally sitting here now and doing a Q&A and we're both doing the Arnolds like tomorrow together. Like, technically, well, we are competitors, we're competing against each other, but the way that I look at it is that doesn't define our friendship. Like, if Lauren beats me tomorrow, or like if I beat her, like, it doesn't change anything, because that's the judge's decision. Like, it doesn't automatically mean, you know, I don't want to be friends with her anymore, because we're both friends because of the same reason, because we both have such a high passion for this sport and the world of bodybuilding, and I don't think that will change.
No, and like I want Phoebe to do well and she wants me to do well, and it's at the end of the day, it's bikini and it's a subjective sport. It's not like me and Phoebe are on a race and we're running across the finish line together. It's more just me and her showing our personality up on stage and just having fun with it. So at the end of the day, we love what we do. We obviously both want to win, but we love show day, and me and her are backstage having fun together, eating
so
cookies.
Much fun. I know. Literally, 2019 Tampa Pro. Yeah. We went backstage and we both were trying to find a microwave to heat up these cookies, and we took a good like 30 minutes trying to find it. We found one, and it was just amazing. But for me, those are the memories that I love.
Seriously, and then afterwards, we went to the we went to the Cheesecake Factory.
Yeah, Cheesecake Factory had a steak, and it was so good. And like, for me, those are the memories I also remember, not just you know, the placing. Obviously the placings and stuff are great. That's why we get up on stage, because we want to, you know, show off our physiques and, you know, do well. But it's also those memories that we spend with other people, other competitors, that make it so much worthwhile. And that's what I think a lot of people need to understand, is that, like, okay, yes, we go there to win, and you know, you got to be focused, because you know, there's sometimes where we have to be like, okay, headphones in, you know, I want to zone in before I get on stage, but at the same time, be in the moment, have fun with it, because you also don't want to be at the top of your game with no one to share it with, you know? Yeah,
no, that is so true. And it's just like, Phoebe's doing well and I'm doing well. We motivate each other because we're both doing well. And I think that's why our friendship is growing. And so, yes, at the end of the day, when we both step on stage, I mean, we're all freaking competitive. I mean, it's like she said, we put on our headphones, it's go time. Like, we want to go out there and give our best.
We respect each other's boundaries.
Yes,
do you know what I mean? It's not like, oh, I'm going to be in, you know, backstage, like, oh, I want to be with Lauren and in her face or whatever. We will all do our own thing. And when the time comes, we have fun with it.
I know.
And I enjoy it. I really enjoy it.
That's how we're friends.
And that's 100%. And like, I think, especially with people thinking like, you know, you can't be friends with the competitors, I don't think that's a thing. Like, you need to make sure that you make friends within the sport, because like I said, like, if you don't have people within the sport to share your success with, like, you're just gonna be.
And
by
I'm
yourself.
not gonna lie, we're not all like, there's some bikini pros that I just don't clash well with.
No.
Like, just like in a normal life, like there's some girls that, you know, we're just not close.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, there's like just a handful of pros out there that I'm like really, really close to.
Yeah.
Like, I consider her, and I think it's just because of our personality, and we just clash well, and we're like, okay, yeah. But that's just in life in general. Like, don't you the same way? There's some pros that you just don't clash well with.
And in life in general, you'll have people that you don't get on with well, but there's some people that you do. So you want to try and make sure that you connect well with them when you're backstage and just enjoying moments with them, you know? So I think that's very important, like, to make sure that you are friends with other competitors, not just seeing them as their competition. That was a good one, I like that.
Look at us.
Okay, so next one we could do. So another one is, how are you both coming into your peak weeks? So this peak week specifically. So obviously you guys know that, you know, my prep has been a big grind, you know, so with our peak week we're not changing much. A lot of people are asking, like, are you still grinding in your peak week? You still got high cardio, all that type of thing. So we decreased cardio, decreased all that type of thing to obviously make sure that inflammation and stuff like that was obtained, making sure that we're not staying inflamed for our show. So it's very similar to what our usual peak weeks were, but carbing up and stuff was very different. So we just trickled in some carbs. It wasn't a big carb up or anything that we're usually used to.
Which you used to do that, and that's why I kind of was following Phoebe, because I'm like, she kind of does what I do, where she can eat a lot of food sometimes.
Yeah. So,
but now I know this is different.
Yeah. This peak, and do you know what? The reason it's been different is because obviously the way that we've prepped has been different as well. So, and that's why it's a good example, because every prep is going to be different for some people. Like Lauren, your preps are pretty standard. You've pretty fine-tuned your body like very, very well.
Yeah.
So I think your preps, well, from what I see, your preps are very similar. You know what you need to do every single time because you're very consistent. Me, on the other hand, I wasn't consistent this time, and I won't lie, that's me being completely open and honest and real.
But guys, she looks insane though, for how I mean, I don't even know what she went through, but looking at how full she is, like, through
very happy,
amazing, her body, like, she is bringing something crazy tomorrow.
Thank you. And I think I think that's very much down to my training. So my training, especially this whole prep, I've really focused on strength as much as I can, because I knew I was on low food, high cardio, so the one thing I needed to make sure that was on point was my training, because that was going to maintain my muscle and maintain my fullness, and which it has, which I'm really happy with. But with this peak week, going into the peak week, obviously we started to decrease cardio. Still was pretty high-ish, like, it wasn't high, but it was higher cardio than what I'm used to. So usually by now I would have been like halfway through, I would have been a lot less cardio, whereas this time I was still on more, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And then food was just kind of trickled in. It wasn't like a lot of carbs, whereas before I've done 500-gram carb ups.
Yeah,
like,
big carb ups. Rice cake.
Yeah. Oh, I love rice cakes. The rice cakes in America are different to anywhere else.
And then your jaw starts.
Yeah. I always say, my jaw is always so achy and peaky because I'd have so many rice cakes. But yeah, this time it was different. So we trickled in carbs. We weren't heavy with them this time around because my body was very, very sensitive already. So,
well, you know what? You look full as heck. It's not like you need to really carb up, honestly. You don't need to.
And to be fair, today we haven't. So again, is our high day today, and we've still got lowish amount of carbs, but it's enough. How's your peak week then this time?
Yeah, my peak week, so I pretty much peak the same way. Like, I will deplete during peak week. Peak week's always really hard for me, honestly, because I have to deplete, and then I will fill out when I'm 2 days out. But this time around we did 3 days. So but my low carb days are 180.
That's literally like my high carb day. Like, so it's like swaps, and that's the difference between it.
But guys, you gotta realize, like, I just did the Olympia, and then like, I've been lean for a while. Like, I did the Olympia, and then I just did a pro show 4 weeks ago.
Yeah, and you kept very tight as well.
Yeah, and so I've been lean for a while, so it's like my body starts like running through all of the carbs. Yeah. So it's like it's honestly a chore to make sure I'm eating enough so I don't get shriveled away.
Yeah, because we're tall as well. We need to fill up because we are tall. I mean, you're not tall, but you're on the taller side.
It's true. We're lankier and I'm longer, so to fill out. And honestly, for this show, it's taken me 3 days to fill out. So I started on Thursday. No, I started on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. So I've just, you know, been eating. I've ate 300. I think we might do 400. It's
today. Wow.
It's pretty. I don't know what is going on.
But that's good. And again, and this is what I like, because again, every prep is different. You're seeing, okay, now this time it's taking me 3 days versus usually it take what, one?
Yeah, it would take
one
two.
Or two. Yeah,
so,
1 or 2. This time it's more, and it's everyone, and that's what you have to realize as well. There's no special way that people either carb up or how pros do it differently. Everyone is different in their own way. So like me and Lauren, like I've had a different, you know, peak week. Lauren's had a slightly different peak week to what she's used to as well. So that's something you have to take in as an athlete, that you have to adjust to what your body's doing in that moment. Versus like, oh, I used to do this, so I'm going to do that again.
Yeah, honestly, I mean, your body's always going to be changing too. Like compared to how long you've been prepping for. Like, is this your second show of the season? Is this your third? Is this your last show? Or is this your first show? Like, you know, my first show of the season's I'm always peaking a little bit different than like my last show. Yeah, because your
body's gone through more, and it's probably leaner by the time you've done like a few more shows as well. So
and we've collected all this data. Like, how many times have you peaked?
Like so many.
Like 30.
Yeah, literally so many times. So it's like, you know,
with your same coach.
Yeah,
like
exactly. It's all about collecting data and seeing what your body responds to best, and then once you know that, then you can test, trial things and experiment.
Yeah, so, I mean, that's all we are. We're just like experimenting data. We have all these progress pictures. I mean, our spreadsheets, our nutrition. I mean, that's why it becomes like we just know what to do at the end of the day. And your coach does, and
exactly. That's how you know how to do it. So okay, so how do you find a coach?
Well, I think at the end of the day, because I see a lot of people like hop to coaches all the time. Yeah. And, you know, personally, I feel like a certain coach isn't going to turn you pro. No. And a certain coach isn't going to make you Miss Bikini Olympia. No. At the end of the day, it comes down to you. Yeah. It comes down to you and you being consistent and you doing what you need to be doing in your preps and in your off seasons.
And trust. You have to trust that one person that you put you know, do your research, especially as new timers. If you're trying to figure out like who you want as your coach, all that type of thing, do your research, figure out, okay, have a look at their client basis, what they've done with their clients. Maybe even if you want to speak to some of their clients and say, how are you getting on with working with this coach? How did you find it? Like, ask them questions, and also don't be afraid to ask the coach that you're wanting to be coached by questions as well. Like, and just ask them as much as you can, get more data from each one, and then also personality wise, see who you bond with. Because sometimes I think people will just go with maybe a top coach and they don't bond with them, or they don't get on with them or something like that, and that's something that's going to stop them from getting good results. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like me with Adam, I knew Adam through Ashley Courtswater. Yeah. And you know, I didn't know if I was going to bond with Adam or not, like in terms of like who he was. I just knew, you know, he had Ashley, they had great results. I want, you know, great results and stuff as well. And it turned out great because I asked questions, we chatted, we realized we bonded, we got on well, and
of course, like, you're gonna make mistakes with your coach too, and like it's sometimes this is about like because sometimes I'll see a girl like she doesn't look good at her show, and so she cancels with that coach and moves to a different one. I'm like, hey, we're all human and we all figure it out together. And it's just like you kept Adam, and sometimes you guys mess up, like even with me and Kyle, sometimes we did something wrong or we peaked wrong, but I don't get mad at him and she doesn't get mad at Adam, because
it's all data,
it's data, and they learn from whatever they're doing, and then they improve on the next show. And that's why you've been succeeding, because even sometimes when you don't do as well as you want, I mean,
you come back better than before. You also realize why. Okay, so why did we not mess up, but why did things not go the way we planned it? Have a look at it and kind of feed through. Like, I remember specifically Sacramento last year. So I'd just done the Arnolds, I did Legions I came in a little bit too lean for because of flight stresses, all that type of thing. If you follow my journey for that one, that I lost like a good amount of weight through just stress and all that type of thing. So they said, okay, we need to fill out. So we filled out quite a large amount for Sacramento, and it was too much. And for me, if I wanted to, I could blame Adam and say you fill out too much. But they wanted me to be full. So that's not Adam's fault. He's following criteria. And okay, we might have gone a little bit overboard with it. And that it happens. We learned our lesson. We won't fill up as much. The good thing is I was qualified for Olympia already, so I used those shows as my testing, you
Yes,
know?
see?
And that's not me being, I'm blaming Adam because he filmed me.
No, it's not like she's going, I am going to a new coach because some coach backstage came up to me and said, Phoebe, you know, I could have made you better and I could make you do this. And she
stuck to the guns,
you know,
and you need to make sure that you have trust in that coach of what they're doing. And okay, yes, if you do maybe, you know, do things slightly differently or doesn't go to plan, that's not the worst thing in the world. You need to try and push forwards from that and put a plan in place with your coach moving forwards and be like, okay, what do we do now? You know? And I think that's very common that a lot of people jump the gun too quickly. Obviously there's reasons to swap coaches and stuff, don't get me wrong, but I think we definitely need to, you need to try and stick to one coach, try and find your coach that you bond well with, and then ride it out and get data with them and experience them as a coach a little bit more intense.
I think this is all gold.
Yeah.
You guys should be taking notes.
Taking notes, yeah, I love it. I love this so much. Okay, so let's do one more. Let's do one more. So, how do you define success in the sport? I like that.
Oh, success. Okay.
So, how do you define success in terms of like, do you look at it as your place? So, I like this. So, do you define it as your placings? Do you define it as your clients, your business?
Yeah, you know, at the end of the day, it's like this. It is like a business. You know, it's what you're doing with your content and with your journey within the sport. You know, I get this all the time. Sometimes I don't place as well as I do. Like sometimes I don't place as well as I do. Like I'll get third or I'll get second or something.
Yeah.
But people reach out to me and they go, Lauren, I don't care if you got second. Like I love you for you and like you sharing your journey, and I feel like it hits people harder than me just winning every freaking show I do.
Yeah.
Right? I feel like that is the success.
Yeah. And I also think that the success, like your placings don't define who you are, and once you split, like I've said this so many times, and once you kind of divide that and say like, I do this for the love of the sport. Like I obviously, don't get me wrong, we want to win and we want to go up there, but we're not going to win every single one. Like, and that doesn't destroy us or make us less of a person because of our placings. And I don't see that as, okay, I'm successful if I'm only winning. I'm successful because I've got a thriving business. I'm inspiring others and making an impact in the sport. That's how I see success as well.
You keep going too.
Yeah.
Like look where Phoebe is now, you know? And
imagine if we'd stopped, if we'd not. Like, so I remember in 2019 we were both trying to get qualified for the Olympia and we didn't.
And
it took a while. And
she got so close to one year. She was like a point off from that top qualified list.
Top 20, and you had to get top 20 back in the day, and I got 21st. Oh, it was a nightmare. But imagine if I'd stopped.
But people love that about Phoebe. You know, deep down,
I was
like, I'm like, wow, Phoebe, like what an athlete, like what a true. And then I saw her keep going the previous year, and then I'm like, that inspires me.
And that's, for me, I love that because that's how I see my success and my, what's the word? Like I love having that reflection on people. Like they are inspired by my drive, so it makes them want to go further. That's my success. That's what I love about what I do within the sport. Don't get me wrong, I love winning. Like we all love winning.
When we do win, it feels so good.
Yeah, it feels great.
We're so happy.
So I think for me, success is defined by what I'm doing within the sport, not just what I'm winning, you know, or where I'm placing. And that's how I see my success, because I've got now, like I remember, when was it? When I got into the sport, this is what I wanted to be in the sport. And I remember in 2016, I was like, I don't know how I'm going to get there. I remember quitting university to become a full-time bodybuilder. Everyone was like laughing, like that's crazy. Why would you do that?
Yeah.
And now
I know.
Here.
Look at you now.
And that's how I see my success. Like I've come from where I was before, and now.
And then people can watch this. I mean, whether you're not a bodybuilder or not, it's like maybe you need to take that step and take that risk and quit that job that you're doing and literally hone in on this, on what you are passionate about, because you're going to be happier. And I guarantee you're going to get to where you want to be. Yeah, it might take 7 years.
Yeah,
it might take
a while. It's taken a while. I mean,
it might take 10.
It took me 4 years to get an invite to the Olympia. Same with you with the Arnold.
Well, she applied to the Arnold. This is her fourth time applying.
Fourth time. And like, imagine if I'd stopped. Like,
I know.
There's just no. I don't. I don't see a reason as to why I would stop. So for me, I look at my success as what I'm creating in the sport, what I'm doing within the sport versus just the placings, 100%. So, right, I think that's a good one to end on. That was real.
That was great.
That was real good.
Heck yeah.
So thank you guys so much for watching. Remember, please make sure to like and subscribe to my channel because it really helps support my channel. Go to Lauren's channel because we are just about to do a part 2 on her channel as well. So make sure you comment in the comment section below if you want any more videos like this. I'm going to try and come to the US, and generally I want to do this again because this is so good.
Oh my
I
gosh.
enjoy this a lot.
Stay with me.
So yeah, we'll just do loads of content stuff. So thank you guys so much for watching. I love you guys so much, and I will see you soon.